Okay, I've started the recording. This is our Design 301 lecture. It's Thursday, December 2nd. It's week 15. Woohoo. This is our last, learning week there is. And this is cool, extra, advanced stuff. So whatever you get done here is really cool, extra, advanced stuff. And it only counts for like 3% of your grade. And so if you do pretty good on it, that's 1.5% of your grade. So you guys don't really have to worry about it too much. Let me go ahead and just get right in here with it. The first thing, and this happens all the time, and I usually demonstrate it, and I forgot to, is sometimes your project browser goes away and or your property box goes away. And without those, you are doomed in Revit. It absolutely does not work. So you need to get them back. And so under View, you can go to User Interface and click on it. And there's the project browser. Oh, it came back. And here's the property box. And there's other cool things that are available that we're not using. So that's how you get those back. Now I want to show a little bit how to put that parking lot in and make a building pad out of it. So the first thing to do is you go to your site. Okay, so here I am in my site. Here I am in my topo, in my property lines. I did that before. But in my site, I can see everything. And one thing that may or may not have been clear is in your site plan, you can turn it to look like a wireframe so that if I'm drawing just little reference lines, I can see them later on. Okay, so I can see through it. So this is where I'm going to go to annotate and a detail line. And what I need to do is estimate where that parking lot is. Well, it's supposed to be in a 10-foot offset. And I know it's traveling to the east a little bit here, but I'm just going to draw over 10 or 12 feet. I'll just go 10 feet. And then there's a 30-foot offset. So I'll draw 30 feet. That's the corner right there. That's sort of the corner of the parking lot. And then you have to have a little bit of knowledge, which is most parking spaces are 18 feet. And then I can draw from there up to the roadway. And then I can go 25 feet over. And that's not on there, but that's just really common. And then I can come down 30 and go another 18 feet. That sort of makes the start of my parking lot. And then if I want to, I can get rid of these because maybe they're in the way. Okay, now, most parking spaces are 9 feet wide. So I think this whole thing goes down 72 feet. Isn't that cool? I'm doing it easier than I did on the other thing. And then these will copy 9 feet down. So there's my 9 feet. Go this way, 9. Another 9, another 9, 9, 9. And then, of course, I can do the other side too. And I think I need a line sort of like that. So let's see, what can I do if I pick on that? I can do that corner thing with this one, and it keeps that. And this one, whoops, nope, I did the wrong one there. Corner, I have to keep the parts that I want to keep. Touch the parts I want to keep. And now this one's really weird. I want to break in there, and this is where I'm saying, oh, that's kind of weird. I think it's this one, right? Oh, I got rid, so I'll just unjoin those, and then I'll go draw a line. Okay, so Alicia, does that answer your question about what to do with those? And then, of course, I need my round
Yeah,
one, right?
yeah, it does. I guess I did the offset, and I didn't like the offset in the and you.
Oh, yeah, and I did copy. If you do
Okay,
offset, let me get rid of a couple of these. To do offset, when you come into here, you have to have a 9 right there. That,
I did do that. I had no problem with it offsetting. It was just I made my lines via offset, and then trying to delete them all was crazy.
oh, got it. Yeah. So
All
I
right.
did the copy. And then there's let's see now, how did I do one of these was trim extent trim now I got to remember where I went to get that rounded fillet. Where did I go to get that? Do you guys remember? Which one of these was that? Was that? Or was it in the draw command?
No, I think it was that one that you had
This
before.
one?
To the
That
left.
one.
There you go. I think it was that one that you used.
That one doesn't let me do a radius, I don't think. There's one that I did that allowed me to do a radius, so you'll have to go look at that. But there's a couple of ways you can do it, right? You can always, what I tend to do is, oh, here it is right here, fillet arc. There it is. It's in the draw.
Yep, that's what you did.
There it is. Fillet arc here and here. And I got to give it a radius. And that radius should be like, let me go radius and probably 4.5. And then there was probably one here too, right? And then this one is, I think what I did is I drew an arc. And then I just moved it. Is that how I did it?
I didn't get that far, so I
Okay.
don't know.
And then what's cool, I think, is I can trim this.
Yep, that's what you did. But you didn't have to trim it.
Oh, I just moved it?
Yeah, when you created the arc, then you were able to move it back, and then there was nothing to trim.
Okay, so I just kind of went like that, right? I've done it a couple of different ways, so I always kind of do it a little different. I am better at drawing in AutoCAD than I am in Revit. There we go. So that kind of gets it for you, right? Now, I want to show you, and let me do this. Let me come back to this one. Oh, radius. There we go. So the whole purpose of drawing this is so that I can put in an asphalt or a concrete building pad at some elevation so I can see what it'll be like. And I think in my example I chose 123 or 20 3 feet. Right? A little bit lower than these, but higher than this. So, oh, and then I need a line across here. Because this part will be essentially level. Yes, there's a slope and a grade, but we usually model it level. That's weird. What did I do there? There we go. We model it as level, and then we just tell the contractor, okay, I want a 1/8 inch per foot slope to a drain here and a drain here, and the contractor does that. We don't actually have to model it. So, and then, but we do want kind of a ramp right here. So how do I make those? Those are from massing and site, and there's lots of ways to do it. I'm going to do it the most simple way, which is what you see there, putting in a building pad. And it's really cool. I can pick existing lines and say I want my building pad to follow those existing lines. And of course, I'm not doing a full complete one here because I haven't got all of my lines in. But there it is. And now here's the thing. I need this to be at a certain height, so I'm going to have to type in 3. Oops, I got a problem over there. Oh, not good. I was sloppy, so I'll do a little fillet right there. And so something's not correct here. 3, 3, 3, 3 from level 1. I don't know why that's not doing that all of a sudden. Let's just see where it put it. Oh, that looks right. Oh, I see why. Okay, so I've got that, and I could tell, right? If I were to really build this, I'd probably want to push some dirt from over here over to this edge to make it lie really nice. Or I would put a concrete curb around, right? But we're not going to get into that much. But this is why people like using this. The landscapers can work with the civil people, can work with the parking lot people, can work with the other people. But I got a pretty nice little thing going on here. Isn't that the grooviest thing you've ever seen? But now I've got another problem. I need to put in this one. And building pads are always even. So this is just, and there's a way to do this that doesn't use a ramp, that's actually far more technically sound, but this is our easy way to put the ramp in. We call it a ramp, and I run from here to here, and I might be going the wrong way, and then I need to pull this out. Then I need to grab that and pull it out to the edge. Grab that to pull it out to the edge. And let's just see what happens with it. Well, first of all, I'm going down the wrong way. So I have to find this little tiny arrow, make it go down that way. And then, look, these levels are all wrong. I'm going to go from probably like right around here. Let me get that back again. Where did it go? Where's my... Did it just get rid of my ramp? Did I undo my ramp? Yeah. Let me go back. Put in my ramp again. I'll try to do it right this time. Pick this one and pull it over here. Pick this one and pull it over here. And then I'm going to go from probably about 1.5 feet from level 1 around here to about 3 feet from level 1. So it's going to go from 1.5 feet up to 3 feet. Both from my level 1. And there we go. And it's okay. I've got a little topo that's kind of in the way. I'd have to do some stuff to fix it. And my ramp is a little bit thin too. Well, let's see where I'm at here. Looks like I'm up off. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. Darn it. How did I get that going the wrong way again? Did I forget to change that? Okay, come on. I can get to it and change its direction. Oh, I know. I got to do it in this one. That's where it is. Click. There we go. Now let's go back and look at it. There. Now I got a nice ramp. And you can see it's kind of, it's not going to be hanging out in the world like that. So there's one other thing I need to do. And if you don't get all this done, that's cool. I'm going to make it 3 feet thick. Now it's a nice, thick ramp. Maybe I'll make it not quite so thick. Maybe I'll make it 1.5. There we go. And that doesn't really matter, but you can see now I have a ramp. It's not perfect over here. There are things that I can do to actually create that better. But for what we're doing, it gives an idea. If you want to, you can get rid of the little railings because they're a little bit weird. But you can leave them in there if you want to. So that is how you get a parking lot in. And then I'll do the same thing for my building pad. I have to figure out where my building pad goes. So here we go back again from my site plan. I'm going to put in some detail lines. And I'll come down, what is it, 50 feet and over 40 feet. I think that's where the corner of the building pad goes. And then I think it's 36. Click, and then if I click on this, I can just type it. 36 by 36 by, come on, 20. 24, right? There.
24, yeah.
Okay, and then I can get rid of these again, and now I can put another building pad on there. Massing in sight, building pad. And again, what's my height now? I think I said it was 6.5. If you've taken Design 300, you'll know that we always need to be about 4 to 6 inches above the dirt. And so we'll put that in. And here we go. Oh, there we go. So we've got land planner. We've got civil. We've got the beginning of architectural. How you can see that the landscape people could get in here. The piping people can get in here. The architect can get in here. The utilities people, everybody can start using this model because they know where things are. And everybody can make their own little copy of the floor plan and put their own stuff in and see how it gets used. Isn't that groovy? So now I think if I go to level 2, what do I see? I see that. So I'll come back on the pipe on here. Now if I want to put in walls, I can pick a kind of wall. And these are interior walls, so I may want an exterior wall. And I'll just put, that's like a siding on metal stud. And so I'll start over here. Oh, and I got to say how high my wall is. I'm from level 1 and I want it to go, I want the bottom of it to be 6 foot on the top of that. And then I want it to go up another 8 foot. And I may have done it that way or a different way in the demo. What does this one do? Come down 12? I don't remember. 12 or maybe 16.
Yeah, 12.
Okay, well, I just did it a different way. And then over, I don't remember. 20?
22.
22. Okay, thank you. You would think after doing this 48,000 times, I'd have this really well set. Better save my little project. And this is how people do it. They just all get into the same model and start working together. Isn't that cool? You go with shaded. There. Now you're really starting to be able to see it. So now if somebody wants to put in, say, a door. Yes, Cynthia.
So how do you make certain that you're on the right, shall I say, level or the
Okay.
right height? How do you adjust them?
And that is really a trick. So often you'll find the levels are already set here, usually ahead of time. An architect will set the levels and you can just say, I want it on a certain level. Okay? But we're being a little less fancy about it. So you're going to have to come over here and go, okay, well, I know my level 1 is at 0, 0. That's always the case. Level 1 is always 0, 0. So if I want my wall to be on top of my pad, and I made my pad at 6 feet, when I put in a wall, it's all right over here. It's telling you where you're putting it. The base constraint, the bottom of the wall, is at level 1 up 6 feet. And the top, I haven't connected it to a level. I'm saying it's 8 feet tall. So that's how you set things as you go. Okay, so now if I'm going to put in a door, and you go, can't see that thing. I wonder where it is. Right? It's like, where is that thing? And it probably put it at kind of a weird spot. Oh, look at that. So now I have to put the sill height at 6 feet to get it to show up. So if you're not operating with levels, it's a little bit harder. It looks like I even have to go a little bit higher. Oh, 6.5 feet. And now I've got a door. And I can do the same thing with a roof, which I don't think I asked you to put on, but we can. So I can come into this one and I can even put on a roof. And I'm going to put it on level 1. And I'm going to put it at 6.5 plus 8, 14.5 feet up from level 1. And I'm going to make it a 2-foot eave. Isn't this the coolest thing? And I'm going to pick walls. Whoop, I went to the wrong side with that one. Let me keep doing this right. I have to get the outside of the wall. There we go. And then I can put a little overhang over that part of the porch. And these are all saying that they're all sloped. And if I want to check the slope out, I can, 9 on 12 is a little steep. I'll do 6 on 12. Think. And I can attach walls or not attach walls. For now, I'm going to not attach them. Now look how quickly I've got a building, doors, roofs. I got the whole 9 yards. It's really cool. Oh no, don't tell me it's, darn it. Here we go. I'll go back and get it right.
I don't think mine looks quite like yours does.
That's okay. Is yours kind of close?
I don't
What?
know.
Okay, well, we'll take a look.
I don't have colored.
Okay.
I don't have a colored
So if you don't
presentation
have
like
it
that,
colored,
so.
it might look like that. So there's a little box down here at the bottom of the Revit that lets you say wireframe or hidden or shaded or realistic. It lets you do all sorts of different things. And you can choose materials for all of these things too. So yours might look more like that or like that or even like that. So there's lots and lots of things that you can sort of play around. All I'm really interested in is that you understand that most advanced work requires you to coordinate with different people. And in this case, we're doing kind of construction people. If you're doing interior design, you're going to do, cabinetry, countertop, plumbing, electrical, maybe flooring, ceiling, lighting. You're going to work with all of those people. Now, it could be that it's a small job and you yourself wear all those hats. Or it could be a big job and there's a different person for each one of those. And in interior design, although maybe they're calling it more interior architecture, you've also got indoor environmental quality or indoor air quality where you're working with the HVAC people and, the air purity people and, the sound people. It could get really complex. And to me, those are the cool jobs, right? Jobs where I have to work with a whole bunch of different people are cool. So I'm just showing you that whatever program you end up using, more advanced work is all about how do I communicate with all of these people. And in Revit, you do it by setting up, all of these different views to be used in those manners. So now, for example, I would set this one up I'll do my property lines. I would go to the visibility and graphics, and there are presets that you can set up so that certain things show up and certain things don't. And you can do that in the model with annotations, what they call analytical models. Those are things like the energy model and the lighting model and the plumbing model. If you're importing things, you can set up filters. So a more advanced project in Revit, you would set all of this up. Now, this is similar to setting up layers in AutoCAD or Chief Architect or SketchUp or LandCAD or something, or Dynascape. These are essentially layers, but they assign layers to types of things instead of to users. And then you have to go set up users with certain categories. So for instance, the architects would have certain ones of these, structural, so on and so forth. And you can actually set these up too. So Revit is a really cool one because it's really advanced and has tons of that. AutoCAD, you'll set it up with what they call sheet sets and linked models, where different industries have their own model and you link them together. In Revit, you tend to have everybody work on one model and you separate what different people can see. Does that make sense? Kind of cool. Okay, well, that's pretty much what I wanted to go over. Cynthia, do you want to show yours and get some feedback, or
If you can walk, sure, if you can walk me through on how to show
okay,
it.
so
I,
to show it, let me.
I sent you a picture.
Oh, okay. So I've got one in my email.
Well, I emailed you how my roof is floating. And so I think, if I'm not mistaken, it has to do with I've got to go in somehow and change the height of my roof
Okay.
to the top of my walls,
Yep.
like what you were referring to earlier.
So that's cool. So go ahead and pull it up and present. Oh, let me just do it on mine because I'll show you.
Yeah, because I don't know how to.
Yeah. So here we are. So you've got something like. Whoops, let's see. You got something like that, right? Is that? Oh, I got to share my screen. Sorry.
Yeah, I thought it was me. I'm like, I can't see anything. Yes, I have a floating roof.
Okay. All right. So what all you need to do is click on your roof and you need to know where this is. Right? So you need to know where the top of your wall is. And in my case, the top of the wall is at all of these walls should be at 6.5. So I did my walls wrong. But that's what's so cool. You can just go back and change them. Isn't that awesome? I love it. So I have all these walls that are sitting on my pad. My pad is at 6.5. My walls are at 8. So these are at 14.5. My roof should sit at 14.5. So let me click on my roof and I'm going to measure from level 1 and go up 14.5 right over here. And now all of a sudden my roof is down on my building. Isn't that cool? I think you might even be able to just move it. I'm using my arrow key right now. So I went into a front view so that I could kind of see it. So my goal is not to make you a Revit pro, but to do something cool. So that looks pretty good. So you can either go into a sideways, an elevation view. I could even do it from an elevation view probably. Arrow, 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 arrow. Or I can do it with numbers. Cool. Does that answer it? Do you think that'll do it?
Yes. Yeah, that's great. The other question that I had, and I have gotten to the point with a roof, so it may be the next video, because I'm like Alicia, that I had been watching on my iPad.
Right.
And I have to say, I like when you talk through the things versus the silent. It's hard
Yeah.
with the silence. It's kind of like, what did you just
Yeah.
say? But
I
anyway,
second that. I had to go to my 80-inch TV to see it.
so, but my other question is that, so you gave us a Revit file that had the draft views on it.
Yeah.
And you had mentioned in the last class, basically kind of start from scratch. So I started from scratch. So I don't have the drafting views on it. And what you did in the last class was you pulled it from a file versus pulling it from another Revit file. It was like
it was from that library.
So how do we do that?
It was from that one.
Well, I don't have a library.
I gave that to you. Here it is right here.
Right, but it's on Revit.
Yeah.
So when I pull it up, it only comes up on Revit.
Yeah, so I'm pulling it in Revit. So I'm bringing it, so here's my file that you see there's really all of these things I pulled into it. So in your blank file, those aren't there, right? So you start from a new file and you've got this, and you're going to go and import those from that other file into this file. I'm going to go find that file, and hopefully I'll find it. I'm going to pull it from my detail library, and it says, oh, what do you want? And I'm just going to click all of the drafting ones.
Oh, I thought, okay, thank you.
And then they show up in your file. Now, and here's where they show up. That just made a new little category for me, and they're all in there now. Isn't that cool?
Okay, thank you. I was just thinking it was a totally separate file saved on your computer, like not in Revit, but like in a PDF
right.
or
no,
something.
No, they're all, and this is another thing that most companies and most people, even private architects that just deal with their own thing, like if you take a class from Carrie Coyne, I mean, you should ask her to show you her detail library. It's freaking gargantuan, you know. And actually, she hired some students years ago to help her. She is the local designer for the Dutch Brothers Architect. So if you've been to a Dutch Brothers coffee shop anywhere, Sacramento, Yolo, Sutter, Placerville counties, she's designed them. She's done the design. And then an architect just stamps them off. And so she got overwhelmed at one point, and she just handed over the Dutch Brothers PDFs to a bunch of students, and she paid them, right? And she paid the students to make her Revit library for Dutch Brothers. And so you should ask her, if you take a class from her, say, can you show me your Revit detail library? And hers is incredible. So this is a real common way people do it. They have a library of details in AutoCAD, or by the way, I can pull in an AutoCAD detail, a Revit detail, a SketchUp detail, a PDF from over here in this insert from file. I can get any Revit detail, I can get PDFs, and I can get CAD, and I can get images. So there's tons of ways to get these in there. Now, one of the things that you're going to see is that this thing might not fit on the piece of paper that you want it to go on. So you might need to make that 4 inches to fit when you put it on a sheet. Now, if you don't get all these sheets done, I really couldn't care less, right? I mean, you're working through things, you're getting a view, you're getting an idea. Just do the best you can. But let's say I want to put in, what did I just do? Let me do a door header. Watch this. I can either hold my left click down and move it over. There's a door detail. And I will put in my disclaimer that you're not allowed to just do this in industry. You can't put somebody else's work into yours unless you have license to do so. And I just pulled these off the web. In industry, you'd have to go in and draw over the top of these, eliminate that, and put your own version in. Okay, but it could be that these don't fit. But it's pretty quick to make these. Now, how do I make another one? Right click, new sheet, click, and now I'll call this one foundation details. Or I can right click, add a view. Right click, oops, wrong one, right click, add. So it doesn't matter which way you go about doing it. Now see, those are too wide, they don't fit. So I have to go back to those and make them a little bit thinner. So I would click on it and maybe make it 4.5 inches wide. And take my next one, click, that one is 4.5. And you got to put the inch symbol in or it assumes that you're doing 4.5 feet. 5 inches and okay, so now let's take a look and see. Now they look like they'll fit just a little bit better. And you can do all sorts of stuff with these. You can move them around and get them to fit right. They're kind of hard to work with. So I'm not going to be too picky. As long as you got something. And you know, maybe you only put one on because that's all you feel like doing. Or you make one of these. I just wanted you to get that idea about how do people collaborate with these CAD tools. Because they are cool, right? And it is all about collaboration and getting projects done. Okay. Any other questions?
I'm good.
Okay. All right, then I'm going to go ahead and turn off the recording.